Hi guys, welcome back to In Case of Econ Struggles. Today I thought I would do something fun and teach you how to draw like me, how to draw like an economist, and give you some tips for how to do so. You're very acquainted with how I draw things like stick figures and other graphics, and I thought it would be helpful to pass along some of those tips to you. So when you're doing your own econ problems, you can really draw like an economist as you're solving those econ problems. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So here is tip number one. The most important thing that you can draw when doing an econ problem is, of course, your stick figures, is the people that you're talking about in each problem. So what I've done is I've just shown you a normal stick figure, which is Bill. Bill looks a lot better than normal because I did not draw him like me. I drew him like you would if you were actually trying to draw a stick figure that resembled some sort of human. And then on the right, I drew the Bill that you all know and love, where he's got barely a face. This version doesn't have a neck, and he's got some weird body proportions going on. And here's how you draw Bill, the stick figure, the authentic version of Bill, in under 2 seconds. All you're going to do, I'll do it slow first, then I'll do it at real speed. You just basically make a little circle, straight line, one line for the arms, one V for the legs, and then maybe dot dot face if you're feeling it. So in under 2 seconds, here's what this looks like. You just go like this. And there you have a perfect stick figure for your econ problem, and that's tip number one. Tip number two, when you're trying to draw like an economist or draw like me personally, if you label a figure, it's automatically correct. So for example, on this left-hand side, here we have a school with a flagpole, and you can definitely tell that it's a school, for sure a school. Here, I've drawn this very basic building and a bunch of our fun stick figures, which we just learned how to draw in tip number one. But you can see that I've labeled those stick figures as students, and I've labeled this random looking building as a school. Therefore, it is also a school. We can extend this to other objects that are not necessarily econ related. For example, if we're talking about mugs, this is a mug. You can clearly tell it's a mug. This weird elliptical thing with some sort of handle, I've labeled it a mug, therefore it is a mug. So tip number two, if you label it, it's automatically correct no matter what it looks like or what it does not look like. Tip number three, when you're drawing like an economist, there's no such thing as starting over. You're just going to cross it out. You could sort of make it better by writing over stuff, but definitely don't start over. So for example, if this is the thing you're trying to draw, and this looks like try number one, all you're going to do, you say, that's not really right. Here's a building. It looks sort of like this. This is sort of like a weird curve, so I'll sort of straighten it out. And then these are windows. This window didn't come out very well. I'll kind of square it off. That window shade doesn't work, so maybe I'll just color it in. And you could see that I'm not starting over or erasing at all. I'm just sort of trying to fix my mistakes the best I can as I keep going. Tip number three, overwrite stuff. Cross it out if you need to, but definitely don't pick up your eraser at any point during the drawing. So these are just 3 short tips on how to draw like an economist. If you think this is useful for drawing out your economic problems, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time for another case of Econ Struggles.